Very good afternoon. Very good afternoon to all of you.
Good afternoon.
So good to see you all. And since the day is so bright today and the season is also like little windy, cloudy, sometimes in here in Bangalore, it rains. So we do expect all kinds of season and weather on the same day most of the times, So the early mornings, it's cloudy. The late mornings, it's like little windy, and then it might start to rain, and then we see the sunshine all over. So the Bangalore weather is all like that. But I'm not sure how's the weather at your places. I hope it is all doing good. Okay. So let's quickly begin with our 4 season songs because we do this in our circle time, right? So before we get started, I would like to quickly say hello to all of you. And before that, we all have to keep our videos on till the complete day. Keep your video on so I would be able to all of you.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Very good afternoon. Very good afternoon. Thank you so much. And we begin with the very famous hello song. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, how do you do? Hello, hello, hello. To you and you and you. Tra la 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 la. Tra la 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 la. Tra la 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 la. Tra la 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 la. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, how do you do? I'm so happy to see you and you and you. Hello, everyone, and a very good afternoon to all of you. How's the weather today? How's the weather?
It's sunny.
It's windy.
Sunny.
It's sunny, ma'am.
It's sunny at your places. Okay, so it could be a little windy at my place. So I would begin with a wind song. The wind is blowing, what will I do? The wind is blowing, what should I do? The wind is blowing, what should I do? What should I do, my darling? I put my hood on, that's what I'll do. I put my hoods up, that's what I'll do. I put my heads up, that's what I'll do. That's what I'll do, my darling. As I said, the weather is snowy. Maybe the snow is falling. What will I do? The snow is falling. What should I do? The snow is falling. What should I do? What should I do, my darling? What do we do? Put on mittens, that's what I'll do. Put on mittens, that's what I'll do. Put on mittens, that's what I'll do. That's what I'll do, my darling. And Monica, it's raining now. The rain is falling. What should I do? The rain is falling. What should I do? The rain is falling. What should I do? What should I do, my darling? What should you do? You'll put on? Come on, try to put on your raincoats. Put on raincoats. That's what I'll do. Put on raincoats. That's what I'll do. Put on raincoats. That's what I'll do. That's what I'll do, my darling. The sun is shining. What shall I do? The sun is shining. What shall I do? The sun is shining. What shall I do? What shall I do, my darling? Put on sunscreen, that's what I'll do. Put on sunscreen, that's what I'll do. Put on sunscreen, that's what I'll do. That's what I'll do, my darling. Very good. It's time for circle time. Circle time. Everyone, it is time for circle time. Circle time. It is time for circle time. If you are ready for circle time, give a big smile and stand up. If you're ready for circle time, give a big smile and we all stand up. Okay? We're all happy and we know it, right? So that's the reason we're going to do a simple song. It's called the happy song. You're going to clap, you're going to twist, you're going to sing the song. I'm muting everyone. happy. That's why I'm feeling happy. Because I'm feeling happy.
Happy Dance from Brain Breaks Action Songs. Let's move by the learning station. Stand up, feel the beat.
I'm so happy. That's why I clap my hands. Because I'm feeling happy. I'm so happy. That's why I clap my hands. Because I'm feeling happy. I'm so happy. That's why I'm touching things. Because I'm feeling happy. I'm so happy. That's why I clap my hands. Because I'm feeling happy. I'm just a feeling and I let to be. Oh yeah, that's what I say. I'm happy is to be there singing the song and dancing with all of you. Dance your happy up, dance your happy down, dance it side to side, dance it all around. Dance it happy high, dance it happy down, dance it side to side. I'm happy because I'm feeling happy. I'm so happy, that's why I touch my hips, because I'm feeling happy. I'm so happy, that's why I touch in place, because I'm feeling happy. I'm so happy, that's why I take my hands, because I'm feeling happy. Happy is the feeling that I would like to share. Happy is the feeling. I'm happy just to be in your singing the song. I can come along with you. I dance your body up, I dance your body down, I dance it side to side. I dance it all up, I dance it all down, I dance it side to side. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that we're all here today. Thank you so much for joining me on time. Good afternoon, and please take your seats. Thank you, everyone. So that was a very, very interesting one, and I wanted to share with all of you. So we have some of the new students who have joined us on day 3. We have Deepthi, Amrita, and who else? Yes, so Rema was supposed to join today. So let's see. And what about Lobna? Any idea? Amina, any idea about Lobna? No? All right, okay. All right, guys. Okay, so very good afternoon. So today we're going to be starting with and continuing with our language exercise. As you all know that we were working towards some of the most important language aspects, right? So why was language skills very essential for all of us is because we wanted to communicate. We wanted to communicate our feelings and thoughts, and we took the support of language. As I discussed yesterday, we were talking about the language development skills. And since we took up the language as English, what were the things that we actually did? Can somebody quickly summarize it to me? Like, what were the different activities that we actually did all through? Yes, quickly, if anybody can remember and tell me, like, what were the activities that we actually did yesterday?
Ma'am, we did the letter name,
Okay.
sound,
word family activities.
Letter name, sounds, very
Word
good.
family
and
activities.
Yes. So we were working towards two things. One was
Phonic times.
correct.
question time, story,
Okay, correct. We did our storytelling. Very good. Correct.
Word families.
Word families. Yes. We did the sandpaper letters. We did movable letters. We also did a little bit of writing part. We got a lot of introductory to our chalkboard. We sorted the chalk also, right? So today we are going to be taking a look through. So in case if you have really forgotten about this and you have no idea what we were talking, and for all the newcomers today, I just wanted to tell you like a quick recap of what we did. Okay, so let me pin my other device. All right, so this is what we started with, correct? Can you all see?
Yes.
Take a look now. So we started working with the letters initially, and then we worked with the pictures and what was the sound of it. We worked both on the short vowel sounds and the long vowel sounds, and we saw different kinds of alphabets. We then began with giving more importance to the uppercase letters, and then we've looked into our lower cases, and then associating both the upper and the lower cases because they were making the same sounds all together. This was one of the area that we were emphasizing a little bit more on. Then slowly, what did we do is like since we were working towards the short vowel sounds or the long vowel sounds, I asked you to write down the different kinds of names which was related to it. We did a story write up on this particular exercise, and then we also started looking. And then I told you that vowels, whatever we have, A, E, I, O, U, are really very special. So we need to help children identify and recognize vowels are really special. We gave children different kinds of activities to identify what are vowels, and then we just made a quick three kind of a setup, and then is where we actually moved on. But today, if at all, if we are moving further, what is very important for us is like yesterday, we also did a jolly phonic rhyme. So thereby we understand saying that, so we do have how many letters? We have 26 letters. But out of those 26 letters, can we make different sounds altogether? So that was kind of a challenging task for all of us to actually work with, isn't it? So even though we have just 26 letters, we had to bring in so many other sounds altogether. Like when we did the Jolly Phonic song yesterday, we just did you remember we did this sing-along. We all sang the song, the Jolly Phonic song altogether, which was very useful for all of us when we were working with. But today, I wanted to tell you something even more important. So that's related to our sounds. When we are talking on these sounds, now if you see here, maybe if it is not clear, I'm just going to give you this. So it's got 26 letters. Is it clear? No, not clear?
It's okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So otherwise, I'll write it down. So we have those 26 letters altogether, right? So we have our 26 letters, and out of these 26 letters, we did have how many vowels? The 5 vowels. And the remaining 21 were our consonants. So the sounds also would contribute to our vowel sound and the consonant sound. Please make a note of it. So we have 5 vowel sounds and 21 consonant sounds. So these are very important. Again, I would further divide my 5 vowel sounds into 19 vowel sounds. 5 vowels, I will divide them into 19 vowel sounds. What are they? I can have 6 short vowel sounds. Then I could have 6 long vowel sounds. Then I could have 5 R-controlled sounds. Okay? And then I would have 2 diphthongs. These are important for you when you're getting towards the learning and understanding of your phonic language. When you are introducing sounds to children, it's very important that we have to understand and have a knowledge on these. That means how many vowel sounds we have out of the 5 different letters? You will have 19 vowel sounds, out of which 6 are short vowel sounds, 6 are long vowel sounds, 5 are R-controlled, 2 are diphthongs. Now, what about out of these 21 consonants? I do get 25 sounds. Now, what kind of sounds they are? They are the consonant sounds that I get. 25 consonant sounds I do get, out of which 18 of them are the regular consonant sounds. 18 regular consonant sounds and 7 are called diagraphs. Just remember this chart. Okay, so 7 are called diagrams of this particular exercise. Okay, so if you're not able to see it, digraph, D-I-A-G-R-A-P-H-S. So we have 26 letters in our English alphabet, 5 being vowels, 21 being consonants, out of which we have 19 vowel sounds. And I would further divide those 19 vowel sounds into 6 short vowels, 6 long vowels, 5 are controlled, 2 diphthongs, 18 consonant sounds, and 7 digraphs. Clear so far?
Yes.
No, it is little. Yeah, I know it's the first time that you're hearing all of this. In case if you're new to phonetic way of teaching, I'll explain it to you really quickly. Okay. Now we are going to first take out the 6 short vowel sounds. So make a nice tabular column. Okay, I'll show you how do you make a tabular column, because we are going to write down some of the relevant words, because when you're introducing the phonic lessons to your children, you need to go on these particulars. So we need to go on the short vowel sounds right now. Okay, so I'm going to be taking the short vowel sounds all together. Okay, so I'm going to take my short vowel sounds. So what are my letters? So first, let me put a letter here. I told you like every letter has a letter name. What's the letter name? I'm taking only vowels. As I said, it is vowels. So I take A, E, I, O, and U. I'm going to be taking these vowels. Okay, A, E, I, O, U. Since it is a short vowel sound, the sound of letter A is A. Since it is short, how do I represent the sound? I write like this. On top of the sound, you will write just a small chandrama kind of a thing, a semicircle on top. The sound of letter E is E. Short sound. The sound of letter I is E. The short sound. The sound of letter O is A. The sound of letter U is A. Okay? All of them are short sounds. We got this. Now, what I need to understand and tell you is like, we are going to implement this in our phonic classes or in our Montessori classes. What is the first thing that you will give it to children? You will ask them to find out the beginning sound in any of the word. For example, ah, ah, ah. So it could be apple, it could be ant, it could be arm, anything. So write down the words which will contribute to the ah sound. But I can also have this ah sound in between also. You agree with me on that? So I can have the other words also, not only in the beginning, I can have it in the middle of the word also. I can have it in the middle of the word also. For example, when I say cap, see, I have ah.
Cap.
I can also have it in the middle of the word also, like cap, then tab, yes, tab, wag, many other words like that. I can have these words. Now, what do I do for that is, I can make a small writer. These we call it as string series cards, okay? So whenever a particular a sound gets used in your classes, so as a teacher, what you could do is like you can bring in these kinds of charts wherein you will give more emphasis for children, like where are the different ways that you can actually put it across. Okay, now I'm tabulating it. But what you could do is like take a pink sheet or take a white color paper, but highlight it with a pink border. So these are all the first set of cards that we use it in our Montessori. They're called pink series cards because you are able to use the a sound in many other words. Have I made myself clear? Is that clear so far? Is it correct? Yes?
Ma'am, can you repeat?
Yes. For example, see, for example, like whenever there is an uppercase and a lowercase, what did you generally do first? A is for apple, correct? A is
Yes.
for apple. What is the sound of A? The sound is A. Every vowel, any vowel, what are our vowels? A, E,
I, O, U.
all our vowels will have two sounds. It will have a short sound and it will have a
Long sound.
what is a short sound? Ah, eh, e, oh, ah. These are all the short sounds of these. What is a long sound? The name of the letter itself. A,
I,
E,
I.
U. Now when I take long sound, aeroplane. Now you got it?
Yes.
The first beginning sound over here. See, the beginning sound is A. So I cannot put it in this chart because I am doing only short vowel sounds. Got it? Still not got it. If you have not got it, you have to ask me now only, because if you don't understand this, it becomes difficult to go forward. I still see a question mark on some of the students. If you have not understood, you can ask me. I'll explain it more number of times. Amina, you look still confused. Have you got it, dear?
But what's of apple? Apple and
Ant is so it's a short,
yeah, it is a short vowel, a short sound.
short sound.
Mm.
Ant is a short sound. Ant. If you
Yeah.
if you get confusion, tell out the word. Ant, aeroplane, apple, arm. See, you get they're all short sounds. If you hear the name of the letter, just remember, if you hear the name of the letter, A. For example, when I have a word bake, can you hear the name of the letter? Bake. A. Can you hear it? Bake. It is not back. Agree?
Oh, yeah.
So when you hear the name of the sound, this is a long sound of A. Just imagine, just remember only that. If it's the name, long sound is nothing but the name of the letter only, you will hear it. Short sound is a phonetic sound. B, k, d. But we are talking only for vowels, not for the consonants. Consonants are totally different. Now I'm talking only for the vowels. So vowels have, put it into your head, okay? So write it down somewhere, define it. Vowels have two sounds. Short vowel sound, long vowel sound. So we have two things. So that's mandated. Short vowel sound, long vowel sound. Short vowel, how do you write a short vowel? If at all, if you're taking any dictionary and if you see, always the short vowels will be written like this. There is a symbol. If you see anything like this, say for example, if you're taking a phonic dictionary, they'll write like this on top. So that means it's the short sound. So you have to read it as cat, cat. If it was like this, so it is cake. See, can you hear the sound here is A, cake, A. So I'll give you the grammar rule later when we do the phonic class, but in this I will not give you. So whenever there are two vowels, the first vowel will do the talking and the second vowel will be quiet. Cake. Okay, so you have to put the name of the letter. So you can put the rule in either way. Okay, when there are two vowels in a word, the first one does the talking and the second one does the walking. Or when the two vowels are walking together, the first one does the talking and the second one is just quiet. So you can use that particular rule also. Now here, since we are talking only about the short vowel sounds, we are only going to work only on these. So remember two things. It can either come at the beginning of the letter or it can come in the middle of the letter for just now. It can come at the beginning or in the middle. E, ek,
And voice is not clear, ma'am.
elephant. Clear? I have full bandwidth. My bandwidth is full.
Okay.
Elephant. So I could also have my sound in between. When I have in between words, what could be my CVC words? I need to have a consonant, vowel and a consonant. So I can have words like ben, ten, bed, bed. See here, all in between. So I make a card for my child and I give it like this. So you saw now, is in between. It is in the center. Okay? There are two rules. Either the word can be at the beginning, see, it can be at the beginning, the sound can be at the beginning of the word, or the sound can be at the middle of the word. Agree? Clear? The rule is the same for everything. Now the words beginning with I sound is E. E. Ink. Igloo. Okay. Now, what can be the words which will have been in center? So I can have bit. Pig. Yes. Big. Then again,
Rig.
wig. Yes, correct. Wig. See, I can have in the beginning and I can also have it at the end of the word. So I make a chart and I give it to the child the same way. Bin, sit, sin, nib, lip. Agree? Now the next one is orange, on. Okay? And
Owl. Octopus.
yes. Then I can have
Octopus.
pot,
Octopus.
octopus. Yes, octopus. You can have it.
Pot.
Pot, mop. Okay? So you have it in between
Pot, ma'am.
words. Yes, you can make your own words. You can write it down. Okay, so those words you can make it. As a teacher, what I'll do, I'll again make my card and I'll give it for my students to actually do it. And what's the last one? The last one is my
You.
So I'm going to have my U. I can have a umbrella.
Unicorn will come.
Unicorn will come for long sound. See, unicorn. So it's the name of the letter. So it's a long sound, not the short sound. So when you hear the name of the vowel, long sound.
Ugly.
Correct.
Ugly. Ugly, ma'am.
Yes, ugly. Correct. Ugly.
On, ma'am.
Up.
On.
Up. Yes. Upon.
On, ma'am. URN. On.
Very good. Very good. Earn is also possible, right? We had the letters which had beginning sound, and I could have words like bus, bun, tub, many things, which is again coming in the center. So what did we do here is like, we did the 5 vowel sounds. See, why are we doing this is, our English alphabet has 26 letters, but we need to get how many sounds? We need to get 44 sounds because we need to have 44 sounds. That's the reason we are doing all these exercises. We have only 26 letters. Every letter has a sound, but we need to get 44 sounds. So that's the reason we did the chart of identifying our letters, like, how many letters? So we have 26 letters, 5 vowels are there, then 21 consonants are there. And then how did we further subclassify? So we did the first one. Okay, that was our short vowels. But what is the other short vowel? Sometime we can also have it is double O. We call it as O. Okay, we call it as O. That is a short vowel. Okay, so write down the 6th short vowel is double O. Double O. Okay, but it is not the spelling. It is not the spelling. It's the sound. You have to get me right here. It's not the spelling, but it is the sound. So I can get this kind of a sound in words like ooh, ooh. So that ooh sound. Ooh.
Soon, ma'am. Soon.
Full.
Soon.
Spoon. No, that is double O. Double O should not come in the spelling.
Bull.
Spelling. Book. Yes. Ooh. You get sound here. Okay, if you're a Hindi student, you know ooh. Ooh sound. Okay. So just, yes, book. Yes, book. Took. They're all
Look.
Bull. Bull.
bull. Yeah, you can. Bull, you can use it. Full, bull. Okay, those are all the double O sounded words. You can use that. Okay, the first category that all of us did was this exercise, wherein we are working towards the short vowel sounds The first 5 vowels were A, E, I, O, U, and the next sound was double O sound. So did you all make this tabular column? So is it so clear? This?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we did the first one and we were done with our first exercise. And the second one is you have to make this chart. Okay, so what you can do is in your notebook itself, make 5 boxes like this. Make 5 boxes and keep it so that, you know, towards the end of the day, you can make them. So what you can do is make another drawing. Sorry, just a second. Is my full board visible?
Yes, ma'am.
What you can do is like, you know, make a chart and keep it in your book. Just make these 5 boxes like this and put A, E, I, O, and U in your book. So this will give you an idea that you have to write the words. You have to write it in the words, okay? And highlight the border with pink color. Highlight it with pink color. If you have a pink sketch pen, just highlight it with pink color or write the words and color it completely with baby pink color or pink color. So your charts in your book would look just like this. It would just look like this. Okay, these are very, very important for us to give it to our children because children need to read the cards. So this is the first set of exercise that you have to work towards, word building exercises. Are you done? One. After this, the next one that you're going to be doing is your long vowel sounds, correct? Just like how we had the short vowels, we would also have long vowels, agree? Okay, so we should also have long vowels, right? So next one is our long vowels. Write down the heading as long vowels. You have your long vowel sounds. Make it quicker. How many long vowel sounds we have? I asked you to make a table, right? So we have 6 long vowel sounds. And what is a long vowel? The name of the letter. I have the letter A, E, I, O, U. I have these letters, correct? A, E, I, O, U. But the sound of these letters will also be as A, E, I, O, U. Okay? So when it is a long sound, you represent the sound with a dash. A, E, I, O, U. There should also be a slash next to it. So this is how you would represent. So long sound is nothing but the name of the vowel itself. You can write it. Long sound is nothing but the name of the vowel sound itself. Okay? So how do I write it? So what do I tabulate it? My tabulation is very simple. I will have the words which will have the beginning sound. A, aeroplane. You can go ahead. Acorn. Ape. Getting it? Now, I can also have words which come in between. But here, we cannot have CVC words. In the short vowel, we had CVC words like cat. See, this was a short sound, correct? It was a short sound because it had a sound. But here in the alternatives, we will not have a CVC word. It can be other kind of words like table, T-A-B-L-E. If you see here, you can hear the A sound, table. Can you hear the A sound instead of table? We don't say table. Do we say that? We say table. A. Can you hear the A sound? So when you hear the A sound, A here is a long sound. It's a long vowel sound. Getting it? I'll give you another example. When I give you a word like break,
It will be like as in ice cream, no ma'am?
yes, I for ice cream, correct. Break. See here also you are hearing it as a break. A is coming. You're able to hear. See, phonics is all about listening. Okay, so you need to listen to the sound. Just listen to the sound. If you're not able to identify, it's absolutely okay. Just listen. Table, a. So it's long sound. Break, a, you're able to hear. So it's long sound. Okay, so let's go to the next one. So we have E. The sound of letter E is E. The long sound is E itself. I can have words like even, eagle, eat. See, it's all E. It's not at, avel, aggle. We don't say ah, right? We say even, eagle. So whenever you get the name of the letter itself, it's your long vowel sound. So I can have words, alternative words can be teeth. E is representing a long sound. Teeth, E. Can you hear E sound, Amina?
Yeah.
E. So it's a long sound. So when I talk about meat, 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 can you hear the E sound? So it's a long sound. Okay, so let's go to I. Let's go to I. Okay, ice cream. Ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Then I can say
Idol.
idle. Yes, idle. Okay, so they're all I words. Now I can have other words like pie. I, see, IE is representing as I there. Pie, tie, high, fly. I'll not give you those. The word.
Sky.
Yeah, there are some of the words. Okay, so there are some of the words which, if it's a short word, like my, by, fly, and if it is ending with Y, its sound is I. There are some phonic rules on the grammar part of it. Okay, so I'll not go very much deeper into it. So if anybody is interested for that, you can let me know. I'll share you the videos on these. Okay, so you can take a look at the rules that you will apply. But for now, just remember any word that you get, there could be some of those sounds. See, every word is a combination of sounds. Now, say for example, see, when I'm teaching initially this word to the child, what I will teach is like how to make this word. The teacher will first try to break it. Eat. Agree?
Yes.
Eat. Teeth. E, she'll say. So the child will, instead of saying E, so they'll understand, okay, it is E. So they know that that's a long E sound. So you're trying to syllabicate. Syllabicate is by breaking word. So when the teacher says write ice cream or even, okay, so what you do, E, when, even. You're trying to break the word. Now when I say carpenter, R, pen. So the teacher can help the child to break the word. Breaking the word is nothing but syllabication. So that means even I can break this. I can say N, pen. Correct? Further also I can break it. If the child is still not knowing this, I can say pen. I can further break that also into and N. Okay, so just take a look over here. So I can further break that into and N, pen, N. I can further break it into those. So that means every word, whatever you have, it's a combination of different sounds. So you should know, is it a vowel sound? Is it a consonant sound? Okay, so that thing is what you need to be doing. So I'll not go too further into it. Okay, the more I go, the more you'll get confused because English is so vast. Language is so vast. Okay, it's very vast and there are so many rules into it. Just remember for now, every vowel has a short vowel, long vowel, and remember the words in it. Next is O, O, O. I can say oat, oats, oak,
Orange.
O. Orange is ah, ah. It's
Oral.
Open.
open, yes, open, open.
Oral. Ma'am.
Oval.
Very good. Oval.
Oval.
Oval. Oval. Orangutan. So there are many, many words which starts with the sound O. Okay, then I could also have goat. O. Snow. O. Just write it down. In the evening, after your class, after you take your tea or coffee or any nice warm drink, go through it and just listen to the sound. It will definitely be helpful for you to understand and analyze. Okay, uniform, unicorn, Uranus. See, it's all sounding what? It's all sounding you. Sounds like moon, soon,
Wool.
sorry. So it's like dew, few. See, it is sounding you. The dew, few, everything is sounding like you.
Q. Q.
Q,
Ma'am, Q.
yes. New, correct. Q, new, all of that. And then the last one, guys, the last one is again O, but that's a long O sound, like moon.
Wool.
Soon.
Wool. Wool.
Wool, no, that's a short sound. Ul.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Now when I say moon, soon, spoon,
Spoon. Right.
tune, see it's ooh sound. Okay, it's ooh sound. In Hindi, mein it is like this. I don't know in the other languages. How do you write that sound? Okay, so these are our long vowel sounds. So what did we just finish now? We finished a short vowel
The long vowel sound.
and a long vowel sound. So we did a short vowel sound and a long
The
vowel.
long vowel.
Okay, so relax now. I know there's too much which has gone into your brain. We're going to just do a quick brain activity. Just stretch your arms. Stretch your arms straight. Join them together. Clasp it. Get them closer to your chest. Okay. Look into your fingers. Just look down into your fingers. Everybody look down into your fingers. You can see it, right? Okay, so what you do now is like you will open every finger one by one. Okay, I'll open only one by one. I'll open a thumb and close it. I'll open another thumb, I'll close it. I'll open my pointer finger, close it. I'll open my other pointer finger, close it. Middle finger, ring finger. See, now both the fingers got open. So that's wrong. So you have to start all over. Okay, just concentrate in doing it for a minute, everyone. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's get back. That was a quick brain break. So what did we just do? English letter has how many letters? I'll ask you questions. You have to tell me now. Okay. So we have how many letters in our English? Amina? Amina. How many letters in English? 26 letters. Adeline, how many are vowels? 5 vowels. Okay. How many consonants?
21 consonants.
21 consonants. consonants. Very good. Now, how many sounds are there in English? So we have 26 letters. How many sounds are in English?
40.
44 sounds. Okay. How many short vowel sounds?
6.
How many long vowel sounds?
6.
Very good. So we did the first part. So out of 44, we have completed 12. So how many more to go?
32.
32.
Okay. So get geared up. We are going to go a little more quicker now to get into our other 32 sounds of the language. And then is what we go. What is the next thing that we're going to be working after that? Long vowel and short vowel is R controlled words. Correct? Agree, all of you? We do have our R controlled words. So let me pick up our R controlled words. Okay. So here I have, okay, 1 second. Okay, some sheets are missing. Fine. We will come back to that. Are controlled. Yes. So write down the R controlled words. The next one. How many R controlled I said? We have 5 R controlled words. R controlled words. So that means you will be able to hear the R sound. You hear the R sound. The sound is going to be, write down just the tabulation. So write down the tabulation, guys. It's going to be helpful for you when we're making the words. But this tabulation you need to know. So I'll have the sounds and I will have the words. Now the sounds are R. So you read it as R. The next one is or, O-R. Next again is U-R. This is R. Okay. Then we have air. Next we have E-A-R, ear. These are your 5 R controlled sounds. What could be the words for R? I can have words like car, park, dark. Yes. So you get the same sound R. So when you're reading here, R is more controlled, right? Car. Even though there is A, you're hearing more of R sound. Car, car. Isn't it? So we have that. Now when I have this corn, horn, I can have poke. O-R. Go to captain's room. Yes. Turn, turn. R sound you're getting. Turn. Verb. Even though it is E-R, you're hearing the sound U-R. Verb, the sound R sound. Even though the spellings are different, you're still able to hear the sound as R. So there is a different rule altogether for the R controlled words. Now say for example, in case if I take bird as an example, and if we are teaching phonetically for the child, how will the child read it? Bird, if they do not know, and if the teacher says bird, okay, you're trying to break b, and d. If the teacher tells, I'm giving you the sound and you start writing. When you say bird, I can write UR because it is sounding D. I can write OR also I can write. I can write D. When I say bird, I can also write ER and I can write this. Agree with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Arlen, you did not get it? When I give the dictation to the child, and if I ask the child to write the word bird, and you're just going phonically, okay, bird, is er can also be the sound. Er is also bird, ir can also be can also be er can also be So if there is a vowel before the letter r, the words become tricky. The spellings become tricky. So what you should do, the teacher will put this word on the bulletin board or the notice board and tell this is a tricky word. So more by sight, the children should see and write. is IR. The teacher keeps telling it is not ER, it is IR. VIRD. Helicopter. TER. TURTORTIR. Which is the correct ter in helicopter? Which is the correct OR? Helicopter. The teacher can also put this in the tricky word wall. Okay, so these are our controlled words. They are very tricky. So you should be very careful when you're introducing these R controlled words to your children, because children do make a lot of mistakes when they're writing the spellings which are controlled by your letter R. Okay, so you can give them the phonic rules. There are some phonic advanced classes and courses. Okay, so if at all, if you're attending that, you will get to understand all these rules of how do you apply the letters and how do you actually write it. Now, when you have bird, I can also write it. So it's like now I know which is the IR. Okay. Next is AIR. It is fair, square. Even though it is AIR, see, I'm AR. The sounds are different. There are alternative sounds which can actually be possible. Okay.
Get back into the plane. Oh, silent people were inside.
Fear. So note down these, and then you can do a little bit of self-study on your own learning and find out more number of R controlled words, and you will be able to work along. Okay. So what did we just finish now? We did short vowel sounds, long vowel sounds, R controlled sounds. And the next one, what we have is called diphthongs. What is a diphthong? When I combine a vowel and a vowel. For example, what are my vowels? A, E, I, O, U. Right? All this while, we were taking a vowel and we were combining with a consonant to blend it. Right? So we used to make a two-letter word by blending them. So we used to have that. So this was a vowel and a consonant. So it was a vowel and a consonant together. But now, whenever you are talking about diphthongs, you will have a vowel and a vowel. Okay, so you will have a vowel and a vowel. So we are going to make sounds. Okay, whenever two vowels join together, they make one sound. They make one sound. For example, when a vowel and a consonant join together, there are two sounds that you can actually hear. At. So you can hear a also, you can hear t also. Correct? When there was a vowel and a consonant. So this was a vowel, this was a consonant. We could hear two sounds when I read the word at. We could get the a sound and t sound. But when we're talking about diphthongs, when a vowel and a vowel join together, we will still hear one sound, even if there were two letters. What is the sound like that? Now, say, for example, when I combine the vowel O and vowel I get OI, right? And what's the sound of this? The sound oi. It's one sound. Okay, so you hear the sound as oi. For example, coin, oil. Okay. The oi sound you can also hear in boy. Boy. The oi, the oi sound you can also hear in boy. This is your first diphthong. That's your oi. Oi is your first diphthong. Oi sound is your first diphthong. Okay, oi. I'm going to the next one. You got it right. So when a vowel and a vowel joins, we call it as a diphthong. So remember that. So whenever you're joining a vowel and a vowel, we call it a diphthong. The next one is OW. Sorry.
Ow.
OU. That's ow. So when I have words like ouch, when I have words like cow, ow, ow. Get it? Ow, ow, ow is the sound.
Out.
Out, yes, out. Then what else can we have?
Ma'am, what about love?
Loud, yes,
Mouth.
mouth,
Out, ma'am. Loud.
House.
loud, house,
House. House. Okay.
yes, house. So you hear the ow sound, okay? Diphthong is nothing but when a vowel and a vowel combine together, they make one sound. That's a diphthong. So we have two diphthongs. So we have covered our vowel sounds. So what did we do so far? We had 5 vowels. I'm just doing a recap. We had 5 vowels. We had 6 short vowels, 6 long
Five
5
are control. Two diphthongs.
diphthongs. Okay, short vowels are my a, e, u. Long vowels are my e, I, o, u. Along with that, a short u and a long oo. R controlled are my ar, ur. What else? A, I, R, a, e, e.
EAR.
Yes,
R. O-R.
EAR.
yes. So these were my or controlled. My diphthongs are all and ow. Okay, so this is the first part of it. So we have covered 12 plus 5, 17 plus 2, 19 sounds we have completed so far. Okay, the next important one is really, really important. We are going to the bigger chunk of it. It's so easy. Next is what we are going to our consonants. Okay, it's so easy. Consonants are easiest ones. The vowels are a little trickier, but the consonants are very, very simple. Okay, so let's hear it. So how many consonant sounds do we have it? We have 18 consonant sounds. 18 consonant sounds. Now what are our consonants? B. The sound of B is B. Okay, make this chart. B, the sound of B is B. You can hear the sound banana, B, banana, B, ball, B, boat. Write 3 examples. Next, I can also hear it in between.
All of these plans are the coasting only.
Okay. Next is C. The sound of C is K, cat. Sound of D is dog. Sound of E is not there. So sound of F is fish, frog. Sound of G is G, goat. Sound of H is G, hawk. Sound of ink. So complete for all the consonants. So make a table by yourself and complete it with all your consonants.
I is a vowel, ma'am.
J, Jack,
There's a lot over here too.
Jam, J, K, L, M, N, E, Q, R, S, T, V, W, X, Y, and Z. I'll give you 1 minute complete, one word for each one of them. That will complete our consonant sound.
Visited. Yeah. How much?
It's too much today. Is it
Yeah,
too?
not two people only.
The language is
Oh, Lord.
so we are helpless. Oral language is easy, but the written aspects of language is difficult and trickier. And as
Ma'am, hello, ma'am.
hi Lavna, good afternoon.
I'm sorry, I'm late today. I have problem with connection. That's why with
Not a
Wi-Fi.
problem. Not a problem. We are
I'm
doing,
just
yeah, we're doing this
Oh.
catches up from here. So we have 18 consonant sounds.
Yeah.
Consonants, we have B, C, D, E. They all have sounds. And we're running the consonants.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Thank you.
Completed? Padma Priya ma'am looks, she's completed it. Yes. All right, so let's move on to the next category. So the next one, what we have in the consonant sounds are digraphs. What is the digraph? All the while we did, okay, so let me put back to my, okay, so we did a vowel and a consonant. We did a vowel and a vowel. So this was a blend, right? So we did blends like A, T, A, M, E, N. Yesterday also we made the chart, correct? Now, what we did just now, a vowel and a vowel was a diphthong, correct? We just did now. Vowel and a vowel is called a diphthong. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to add a consonant and a consonant. So when we take a consonant and a consonant, that becomes our digraphs. Okay? Indirectly, all of these are called blends. We can have a vowel and a consonant blend, a vowel and a vowel blend, a consonant and a consonant blend also. Clear? So when there is a vowel and a vowel, specifically we call diphthongs. When there are consonants and consonants, we call them digraphs. So now we are going to learn about the 7 digraphs that we have it. We're going to learn the 7 digraphs. Okay, the 7 digraph sounds in our English language. So what are those 7 digraphs? So I need to know, I need to do what? I need to put a consonant and a consonant, correct? So I'm going to start with my digraph, and I know there are 7 in number. The first digraph, and I know I have to combine a consonant and a consonant together. My first one is when I take the consonant C and when I add a consonant H, I get a sound ch. It's not ch. It is ch, 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 ch. You can make that sound. It's a train sound. Ch, 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 ch. It is ch, not ch. It is ch. Okay, for example, chair.
Chocolate.
Chair, very good. Chocolate. Charm.
Church.
Church.
Choose.
Choose. Very good. Many things. You can write more number of words. Now, when I take S and H, S is a consonant, H is a consonant, I get the sound, not sh. It is sh. The first one was ch, 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 ch. Okay, get that ready.
Shoes.
School. School doesn't come.
She.
Shower.
She.
Shop.
Shower.
She.
I'm not able to hear any one of you.
She.
Sheep.
She.
Okay.
Shark.
Short.
Ship.
Ship. Ship is written. Okay.
Show.
Write down more number of words. Why is it displaying like that? It has got a network blend or something. Let me remove it and put it again. A little, yeah. Better? Much better?
Yes, ma'am.
I've removed my pin. Okay, so I'm going to only put this. Okay, so we have SH. So we had ship, show, shoe, she, shawl. The next I'm going to take the letter T and letter H. So what's this? Yes, this is here. If there is something called as voiced and unvoiced. Voiced and unvoiced. So it has two sounds. TH has two sounds. One as in
They.
as in the. One as in the. The. Okay, I'm writing in Hindi. Other language, write it down in your own language. One sound is th. One sound is the. The. So we will add one drama to it. Okay, so there was one boy, he was walking all the while. And then he was like, do you know where do people sell apples? He's like, the. Oh, you don't know? Yeah, I'll go and ask the other person. He's like, I don't know. We usually do, na? Little, what do you call it? Petty things that you do it. Sometimes you don't want to tell. You act like that. So you get two sounds. One is th and one is the. When I have words with th, I say, I can have words like
Mouth.
mouth. Yes, the ending sound, mouth. See, you
Teeth.
got th sound.
Teeth.
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 Thank you.
Teeth.
Teeth ending sound. Teeth. Teeth is th is coming. And when I have the sound, I can say this.
They.
That.
This. They. The. TH. The.
That.
Those. So
They.
H has two sounds. Now you figure out. Okay, you figure out. I can say they, those, them.
These.
Yeah. So whenever you hear the sound, so your TH has voiced and unvoiced. Okay, which is soft in this. Think. This is soft. This is soft. This, that, those, they. They're a little louder. Think, mouth, teeth. They're softer. The softer ones are called unvoiced. And the louder ones are called voiced. So you have a voiced sound and an unvoiced sound. A voiced TH and an unvoiced TH. So this consonant blend has two sounds. The short sound, the unvoiced one, and the voiced one. Okay? So shall I rub this? I'll go to the next one. Have you all copied it? Okay. So next consonant blends, I call the consonant blends as digraphs. The next digraphs for me is when I take W and H, I get w, w, w. Okay. So I want you all to get this clear. Yesterday, I think one of the students had messaged me like, how do I get the sounds of V and W? Okay. So V is also like w, W is also w. Okay. So V is w. W is like, as if you're pouting. It's like, okay, practice that. The sound of W is W. The sound of V is V. So you can bite your lip and you can say V. That's V sound. That's W sound. So you got the difference between your V sound and the W sound. Okay, so it's wow. So now when I have WH, it's wow. Even the H has to come. Her has to also be wow, wow. Okay, so I can have words like whale,
What? What?
will, which, and
Will?
well, and will. Which one?
Will, ma'am.
Will, no.
When?
Will, ma'am.
When.
WH, ma'am, will.
We, yes.
Will. Yeah.
Okay. Next consonant blend for me is N and G is ing. Okay, so you have to have that sound has to come.
Night, like night.
That's I. Night.
I.
Think.
Think. No. No. G sound has to come, not the K sound. Sing.
Thing.
Think. Yes. Wing. Yeah, we can have this. So this is sound. Okay. The last one, what we have is ZH. Okay, so this is a little trickier. So whenever we have words like vision, this is the j sound. J. Vision. Azure. So you get this j. I don't know how to write it here. So in Hindi, we write it like this. J sound. So it's vision. Azure. Whichever language you are very comfortable, write it in your native language so you'll be able to understand it better. This j sound. J. Vision. Azure.
Passion can be.
Passion. Yes. Passion. No, that is sure. Passion comes on the.
This is
Decision,
I with
ma'am.
S, ma'am.
Yes.
I with I plus S. This is vision. I plus S. Is it?
Yes. This
Okay.
is I. We call it as ZH. Yes, I call it as J.
Decision.
See, if you're going with proper phonics, if you're blending, you say VC on. We don't say VC on. We say vision. Where did the J come? The J came here. Vision. So we replace it with J sound. So likewise, we have many words like that. For example, when I say station, okay, if I go with the phonics, I have to do this. Station. This is how children read. But how it should be read as? It should be read as station.
Like attention.
Yes, like attention. It should be read
Yeah.
like that, but the spelling is different. So that's the reason there are alternative sounds in English. That's a big, I could say, bundle of knowledge to learn. Alternative sounds and all of that. So if you're interested, just do message me. I'll share you the phonic rules. There's a video on that. I'll share you one of my lessons in that you can go through the different rules, like how do you alternatively put things. Okay, so this is station. Okay, so we read it like this, we write it like this, but we have to read it like this. Okay, so that's the reason English is tricky. Unlike our native languages, we have a letter for every sound, but phonics does not have it. So what were our digraphs that we learned? We learned our digraphs where a consonant and a consonant blend was called a digraph. And we had 7 digraphs, starting with then boys and boys, the and the. Then we had wa. Then we had then we had j. Okay, so these are our 7 digraphs. So that completes our 44 sounds in our English language. Clear, all of you? Now let's quickly do a brain break. Let's take a quick break now. So everybody stand up. So much of information has already gone in. So it's called Okay, so stop me if I'm going a little fast. Okay, so it's called a crossover game. Okay, so it's easy, it's nice. We do this at our school also. We do this. Okay, so everybody, anything with your right and left and right and left, what happens? It's like, you're trying to touch your brain most of the times, right? So you're feeling it really nice. And one of my teachers, Shanti ma'am, she keeps telling that you need to kiss your brain every day because your brain needs a lot of hug and love and so much of nutrition, the positivity into it, positive words that you'll actually keep putting in. So she says that you need to eat a lot of nuts so that your brain is very healthy. And you need to always kiss your brain because whatever you are learning, it goes and sits in your brain and you can remember it for a longer period of time. Okay, that's just a learning. It's just a part of it that we need to be working with. Okay, so what we do now is like, so everybody take your right hand and touch your left ear. Touch your left ear. Left hand, touch your right ear. Do the same 3 times. Okay, so you did 3 times. So you're trying to cross over, right? So you did a crossover. But now what you can also do is like, when I say this one on your right shoulder, remove it, and then you put it on your left shoulder. And you can just make up a small rhyme. Crossover, crossover, everyone. Crossover, crossover, everyone. Right hand on your left shoulder. Left hand on your right shoulder. Crossover, crossover, everyone. Crossover, crossover, everyone. Right hand on your left knee. Left hand on your right. Crossover, crossover, everyone. Crossover, crossover, everyone. Right hand on your left ear. Left hand on your right. Crossover, crossover, everyone. Crossover, crossover, everyone. Please sit down. Thank you so much. All right. So we did. Now, what was important for us is like, since we made up all these kinds of words like that, now it's important that we start to pin up and we start giving words to our children. And what I could do is like, since I already introduced the vowel word, the short I, the short A, the short O, everything was introduced. Now it's for me to introduce the words to children. I say, can you read this? The children will start reading it. Now, what I have color coded over here is like, every family, I have put them into a different color altogether so that the child understands, okay, it's bib, fib, rib, nib. The moment I start with a different color, the child understands it's different family altogether. So this is up to the teacher, how you want to make the words for your child. Okay. I prefer it this way to do it in my class. So I do it in this way. So however you want it, you can actually make up the cards. But always make sure they are short vowels. So that means it's a C, V, C to begin with, a consonant vowel and a consonant card. So once you're done with your I words like this, you can go with the other families. Like you can have your O vowel families. So you can have the short vowel O words, cob, gob, job, lob, mob, rob, sob. Like that, you can make it up. Like that, you can make with your U, you can make it with your A. Okay, so all the vowel family short words needs to be tabulated. Okay, so you have to make out the words and you have to give it for your children to understand. So this is important for us to actually go. And the next important thing apart from that is related to my reading. Yesterday also I said that, we need to do a lot of reading exercises in our classes, right? So what did we do next was like, I can make up a small booklet like this to my student and I could just staple it. So that's the reason I told you all that you could actually staple it. I would write the heading of that particular family and whatever were the words which was actually listed in this, I can write it down in my small booklets like this. Okay, so I can make a small booklet to children and write the words and let the child take it up and read. Now, to make it easier, you can either write your first letter in a different color, or you could also underline the first letter. When you keep doing this, it helps the child to understand it even more better. Okay, so this was one of the ways that you could actually work with. Okay, so you can make up words like this. You can make up a small booklet like this, because the child is going to actually read these particular booklets. They're going to be making sure that they will be able to write it. The number of words totally depends. Now, once the words are learned, you have to make a reading booklet, which is going to be on your sentences. Okay, so you need to give sentences. We also learned yesterday, when you add an article, okay, it becomes the shortest sentence for me, and I start making a reading booklet. Now, all these things, what I would do is like I would carefully store it in a reading folder, which will contribute to my 80 word family. So I have bundle of words to read with. I had so many words to actually tabulate to make it a reading folder. Now I do have a reading exercise, small booklet. Now, as a teacher, what you could also do is you can also add a picture underneath. Like, when it is Sam, you can put a picture of a boy over here. Okay, so the child understands by the visual memory itself that this is Sam and he had a rat, right? So had and a are become your sight words because the child understands it. The more you give for the reading access, the children start reading beyond and better. It's not only for this, you can also use actions. Okay, now all our action cards in Montessori, we represent it in a color which is of red. Okay, so we use a red color. Everybody can make a red. If you have a red sketch pen, you can make squares like this and you can write the words in it. Actions are nothing but our verbs, right? So children definitely need some kind of actions to actually perform. Say, for example, if I say, can you all swim? The child starts to swim, okay? Because you're giving them the action and you're showing them how to swim. So swimming is essential for me because I am going to help the child work on this particular exercise wherein I'm trying to help or teach the child how to swim over. So we all do that action. Can we all do that action? Okay, because I have given you the word swim. We're all swimming together. So when we're doing this, we can also sing along. You can say swimming, 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 swimming. What was this?
Swimming.
No, when I add that, sorry, I have removed the spotlight, sorry. Swimming, 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 swimming. Jump, 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 jump. Dun, 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 dun. Now roll, roll, now roll, roll. Stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. Sit down, sit down. You can go on and on. Okay, hop, 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 jump, jump, jump. Add on to more number of words. Let the child try to learn more actions possible. And always remember, red stands for actions. Actions are nothing but verbs in our Montessori, and we represent it with the red symbol cards. Okay, so whoever is writing, so write down any 5 action words in the label kind of a font and write it in red color, or just color it red. I'll give you minutes. I'll hold on over here. Words and show it to me.
Run.
Yes, run, skip, jump, all of them. Okay, so this is our action words. Very good, Padma Priya ma'am. I see you've completed it. Can I have somebody else who's completed it? Who has completed?
Yes.
Okay, Mani ma'am has completed. Can I check over here? Very good. Mani ma'am, look at how she has actually done. Okay, so she has put it this way. Very nice, Mani ma'am. Thank you so much. Yes, can somebody else? Who else is completed? Please on your videos. I would like to interact with all of you. Lobna, please on your video if you're comfortable, please. Thank you. Shivli ma'am, Amrita ma'am, please on your video so I could interact with all of you. Thank you. So have you completed it? Okay, so this was important for us because you need to also make the action words. Amina, have you done here? Adeline, yes. Done so far? Okay. Now, what do we next do is over here, whenever we are introducing the grammar symbols again, we have to also combine and tell about multiple other things. But before we go to sentences and grammar, I would like to move on to punctuation. So write down the next heading as punctuation. We're going to do punctuations now. Everyone, write down the heading as punctuation. What are the different punctuations you know? You can recollect them. Write down what are the different punctuations you know.
We stop.
Full stop, comma,
Comma.
Very correct. Yes. So full punctuation. Question mark is a punctuation. So we're going to take only these three for today. We call this as a period. We call this as a period. Okay. So we call this dot as a period. So I would call the dot as the period. And then I would call the comma. I would call the comma, C-O-M-M-A. This is my comma. And this is my question mark. Okay. All of them are going to be in red color. All of them are going to be in my red color. So we have to imagine, we have to not imagine, we have to make sure they're all in red color. Okay. So we need to have the red color. The first one that I'm going to take is a period. So sorry. Okay, so I'm going to take is a period. Okay, so full stop. Now say for example, I can have cards like this. And dog, the dog likes to eat a bone. Okay, so when you start making the cards like this, it becomes helpful for the student to understand and identify also, because look here, I've given my period in the red color. Okay, but again, which one is the correct statement? And dog or the dog, which one is correct?
And dog.
And dog.
The dog.
The dog. The dog.
Okay, so I cannot use and because B is not a vowel, right? B is a consonant. So I need to use the articles properly. And the, I have to use them properly. Kindly unmute yourselves, whoever is like, got a little loud music behind. Okay, so this is what we're going to be working on. So the child will definitely understand punctuation, but at the same time, as a teacher, you need to also reinforce the knowledge, whatever you have kept on teaching in your classes. So this cannot be and dog. The child understands it's the dog. Okay. And what does the dog like? Always ask questions. The dog likes to eat bone. So what is eat? Eat is a verb. Just now we thought like, the dog likes to eat bone. So you can pretend playing. The dog likes to eat bone. The dog likes to eat what? The dog likes to eat bone. Does he like? Yes, he does. Ask questions. So this is one of the first thing that we can actually do it. The next one is going to be your comma. Now, whenever there are two sentences, okay, so whenever there are two sentences, if I say I am sick, what's the next question you will ask me? What is the next question you will ask me?
Why you are
You ask me, ma'am, what happened? Why are you so sick?
What happened? How is your health? What happened? How is your health?
Questions. Now, what if I tell you I cannot take class today because I'm not well? Everybody will say, okay, ma'am, take care. We will meet you tomorrow. And the answer is, I've answered your question, right? That's the reason you need to complete your sentences. So when there are two sentences, I am on leave today. I'm feeling sick. Joining those two sentences and one sentence, I combine it with punctuation, which is called comma. Okay, so I'm saying on leave. I'm sick today and I'm on leave. I'm sick today and I'm on leave. Okay, so I'm sick, so I am on leave today. So I'm sick today. So what is the color that I'm going to be using? I'm going to use my color red to represent the comma. So always use the color red to represent the comma. Towards the end also, if you see, I have a period there, the full stop, correct? So this also needs to be in color red. So we are working on this. Now let me give you another example. I say I am not going to school as I'm not well today. So multiple reasons. Okay, so I'm sick, so I'm on leave. I'm not going to school because I'm not well. I'm not going to school because I'm stuck in traffic. I'm not going to work today because I have a wedding to attend. You give your own reasons, but make sure there is a validation. You do not leave open-ended questions. You understand what's an open-ended question? When you don't complete it, it becomes an open-ended question and people keep asking you, what was the reason why you could not make it up? Okay, so this is about the second punctuation comma. The next one, what is important for me is questions, right? So you keep asking a lot of questions. Can you shoot up some questions on me? The next one is like, it's like when I say question time, children. So you'll ask, oh, ma'am, why are you doing this time? Why are you giving this test? What? You are giving me a test. When did you tell us? How can you do this? Whose permission you took? Who is going to attend? Where are we going to write? So you start giving me so many questions, right? So when I tell you that there is a surprise test today, you might ask me so many questions. And I would love to have all of that. Okay. So these are some of the questions. Okay. So you could put all of that together. So you can write down the questions also. Like these are some of the questions that you can actually put it across. Okay. So who's, when, why, where, what, how, where. Okay. So try and put it. The phone device is wobbling actually. Okay, better? Better now?
Yeah, better.
Better? Okay. Okay, you got all of them?
Yes.
Put it in this one. Okay, so you put so many questions, who's, where, when, how, and all of that. So these are all my questions. And at the same time, as I was telling it to you all, that we need to put a question mark, right? So that's the symbol that we're going to be adding it. And I'm going to be also asking a lot of questions for all of you. When I say that, you can make now sentences. Now again, the question mark that we're going to have is going to have a red color mark altogether. So make up these question tags and ask children, okay, so what happened, children? What happened? Why did you study? Okay, so you will say, ma'am, I did not study. Okay, so who poured the drink? Ma'am, it was Amina. Okay, so why are you late, Lobna? Because I had a network issue. Okay, so I can ask, how old are you, Amrita? She'll say, okay, I'm 20 years old. Okay, so you can keep asking questions to children. What I wanted all of you to understand over here is like the question mark that we're going to be using over here. It's got this red color. Okay, so you have to use the red color. You have to use the red color there to give up your question labels. Okay, so you need to put up the question marks over here. How old are you? Why are you late? So write down 5 such questions. Who, why, when, where, who's, what. Okay, so whatever were your question marks, question labels, you can put that and write 5 sentences because you need to ask children to work on these question marks. So this completes your punctuation chapter. And the next one is all about what gets a capital. Okay, so write down the next heading. What can get a capital? What can get a capital? What all can get a capital? What can get a capital? The first thing, if it's a noun, noun can be name of a place, noun can be name of a person, an animal, noun can be a name of a thing. Next is the beginning letter of any sentence gets a capital. Agree? Yes.
Yeah.
So, my name is Divya. Is Divya a noun? My name is Divya. Is Divya a noun?
Yes, is it?
Correct.
It should be capital letter.
Yeah, something has to be capital. So, this is not correct. So, is this correct?
No.
No.
Capital letters on top of it. So, it's not correct. Is this correct?
Yes.
No.
No.
Not correct.
Not correct. The Y is capital here.
Yeah. No.
So, is this correct?
Yes.
Yes. This one is.
Only the first letter is capital and rest everything is easy. So to make sure the children are all comfortable with it, I would always make sure the first letter of a noun is always in the red color. So the child now understands from now on, if it's a noun, the first letter of the noun is going to be in red color in Montessori. Okay, so this is a visual representation. The child will start to understand and start working on this particular concept of identification. And they would start identifying, yes, noun can be a person's name, and the beginning letter of the person's name or a place or an animal or a thing will be capitalized. To make it much more easier for the child, I'm going to be using with the color red. Agree? Yes. Now, what do? I start applying the same thing for my sentences. I say, okay, the dog. But what was my second thing? I understand dog is a noun. The beginning of the noun is capital. But is this a correct statement? It is still not correct. Because even the beginning letter of the sentence should also have a capital letter. So what I do is like, I replace this because it is wrong, and I replace it with another sentence and I say, the dog. It is correct, but still there is a mistake. What could be the mistake? Since I have article before the noun, it needs to be completed with a full stop because that's the shortest sentence. So the full stop is also another one that I'm going to be using because it's also going to be a symbol that I have to use. That's the period. So this completes my correct sentences. So in my capitalization exercise, what I would do is like, I would make many such duplicate cards. I would be creating a lot of duplicate cards with children, and children will have to be finding out which cards are appropriate, which cards are inappropriate, and the child should be able to give validations. Why is it not correct? You have to ask the child, why is this not correct? The child says, ma'am, DOG is the dog, so D is capital, so it's already in red, that's fine, but the, okay, it's the first letter in the sentence, but it is small letter. So it is wrong, it doesn't justify this. So I got to use this. And then the child says, if the period was missing, ma'am, it is not correct, but don't you think that there is a period which is missing here? Then the teacher picks up another card and gives it to the child. Now find out. So if everything validates, then your capitalization exercise completes. So as a teacher, you can do this for multiple cards. You can have cards for your names. For example, I've just done for my name, Divya. So I've given all the error cards. The child will have to identify all the error cards and they have to just tell me appropriately what was correct and what was not correct. And finally, they come back to a conclusion, yes, this is correct because everything is all fine. So that's your capitalization. So let's move on to the next exercise. All right, so I'm going to now work on something called as my grammar symbol box. Okay, so everybody write down the next heading, very important. It is related to your grammar. Okay, so it's called the grammar symbol box. The grammar symbol. Okay, so what I do over here is, 1 second, let me off the fan, because my cards are going to fly out. Okay, so I would carry my grammar symbol box, or I can have a tray full of cards like that. I'm going to bring my symbols. Okay, so just now I introduced my name, correct? So name is a noun. You all agree? Name is a noun. Name is a noun. So what I'm going to do over here is like, how do I represent in my Montessori? Is by this large black triangle. A noun is represented by a large black triangle. This is how I would represent a noun, for example. Okay? For example, if I say the dog. For example, write down the sentence, the dog. Can you tell me which one is a noun in this?
Dog.
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 Very good. And what do I represent it with? I would represent it with a
Okay.
large black.
Triangle.
I say this is my dog, and dog is a noun. Correct? What about this? What is this? What is the? I cannot.
Article.
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 So my articles were my a, an, and the. If you remember, we did it in our yesterday also, correct? So in Montessori, we represent article. We represent article by a small blue triangle. So we represent it by what? An article is represented by a, write down this. You can write down a small triangle and color it light blue. So we represent article in our Montessori by a small light blue triangle. We represented it by a small light blue triangle. So we learned two things. We learned the noun, we learned the dog. So what do? I take up the slip from my grammar symbol box and I say, yes, this is how I would do this. Okay, got it? So we did this. The dog, we represented this. Now, what's the next thing that I'm going to do is, I can show the child the picture of the dog, right? Or I could change the statement also. I could change the statement also. I can change it to the lion. Still okay? What I could do is, I could bring an object and show it to the child. Okay, this is how the lion looks. The lion. Can I describe the lion better? Can we describe the lion better now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am.
How do you describe the lion? How do you describe the lion?
This is a wild animal. Lion is a wild animal.
Ferocious.
One word.
Ferocious.
Wild animal.
Ferocious lion. I could say the brown lion.
A majestic lion. Majestic.
Dangerous.
Yeah, yes. I could represent it in whichever way that I would want. But now what I would do is, I'm going by the color. Okay, so I would go by the color and then I would do this particular thing. Okay, so I'm going to be going by the color itself. Now, say for example, if I'm going by the color, what color it could be? It could be
Black.
color, correct? So it can be brown color, or it could be that goldenish, yellowish kind of a color. But what if I had multiple things? Okay, so I'm just going a little, stop me, I'm going a little faster. So whenever I want to describe something, something, if I want to describe something, I call that as an adjective. What do I call it? I call it as an adjective. And that's my dark blue triangle. My dark blue triangle, I call it as an adjective in my Montessori. Okay, so we have a dark blue triangle. Now say for example, I say the pig. How do I describe it? Is it a white pig? Is it a brown pig? Is it a green pig? Is it a black pig? Or is it a pink pig?
Pink.
Pink.
Pink. Pink.
Pink.
Pink pig, agree all of you?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you agree that it's going to be a pink pig, correct? So what I'm trying to do over here is, I have to now put this, okay? I didn't have a label for this, just think. You agreed, everybody agreed here, right? It's a pink pig. It's a pink pig. Now read it. Pink,
Pink. Pig.
pink the pig. Makes sense? Does it make sense?
No.
Does it make sense? It doesn't make
We remove the art.
Yes, yes. So now try to shuffle it. The pig pink. Does it make sense? It doesn't make sense. So what I do is like I cut this. So when I cut it, I get three different labels. The is separate, pig is separate, pink is separate. Now I would reshuffle it. The pink pig. So I will have to add the article here. Correct? Everyone?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Now I will shuffle it. Now does it make sense? The pink pig.
Yes. Yes.
Does it make sense when we are reading? See, the
Yes.
pig, I cut it. Okay, so I cut that into two pieces. Now I'm going to put this inside. Why I'm giving you this is, when it is a noun, whatever describes the noun should just be before the noun. So that's the rule. Okay, so I had first the pig together. The pig. So a noun cannot be read like that. That's why we added an article. But when we had this, the pig pink, it didn't make sense. Pig the pink, it didn't make sense. So I cut this. When I cut that, the was separate, which was here. Pig is separate, which is here. Now I reshuffle this and I start reading. The pink pig makes sense. So that means the adjective or the describing word has to be just before your noun. So represent it. Pig is a noun. The is an article. Pink is an adjective. This is how we represent in Montessori. The pink pig. Article, adjective, noun. Got it? All of you? All of you, did you get it?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, is there any confusion? Okay, so I think Rema has just joined now to our class. Hello, Rema. A very good
Hi.
afternoon. Hi, good to hear from
Good
you.
afternoon.
Very good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
I just started with the language introduction, and I think you have missed out on the first 2 or 3 days of classes as well. So you can go through the recording.
Yeah.
Those catches on
Sure.
that is actually missing. Okay, so let's move on. Thank you, Rema. Thank you. It is really nice having you.
Thank you. Same to you. Thank you so much.
All right, guys. So let's move on. So this is how you would represent. I would now go back to it. Logical? It's logical, right? Have you seen a white pig? Have you seen a white pig? Yes, some have seen. Have you seen a yellow color pig? A yellow-
No.
But it is okay now to describe like that. It is okay to describe. There's nothing wrong. You can say the yellow pig, the pink pig, the brown pig, the gray pig. It's all okay. But logically, it is not correct. So the next step is like whenever you're making adjectives and slips, you need to also make sure your adjectives are logically correct. So that's the reason we go back to the next exercise, which is called as the logical adjective game. Note it down. We move on to our next exercise, which is called the logical adjective game in our grammar symphony. Now see here, what I do here is like, I have some of the representations, like I have some of the cards like blue, I have another card which is hard, then I have soft, then I have another card which is hot. Okay, so hot, blue, hard, and soft. So you can also note it down. So when I bring this card, sky, which one suits? Which one suits? We're still doing an adjective.
Blue.
Blue.
Blue sky is soft.
Blue sky.
Blue.
Sky. Blue sky.
Sky is blue.
Blue sky. Trying to describe this logically, right? So when you're making the cards for your children, make sure the cards are logically relevant. The blue sky. Okay, so blue is your
Adjective.
Adjective.
sky is your noun.
Noun.
The is your
Article.
article. Very good. Now I can have another one. Say for example, hot rock, hard rock. Make sense?
Hard rock. Hard rock.
Makes sense, right? I can have another one. Can I have a hot rock? Not possible. Can I have
Sun.
Hot water.
Yes. Can I have hot soft? No.
No.
So can I have a soft pillow?
Yes.
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 Soft pillow, correct.
Are the ones which is important for us. So every time you are creating adjectives for your children, make sure they are logically correct, because the logically correct ones are very, very important for all of us. Okay. So this is your adjective game, but I have an inquisitiveness. I want to do more and more and more and more of describing things. Now, say for example, I can say something. Now, say for example, if I'm using this picture, for example, what is this shape called? I'm still with adjectives. Okay, I'm still with adjectives. What is this called? What is this shape? What is the shape called?
Triangle.
Triangle.
A triangle. So I'm going to keep it a little far, okay, because I want to describe it too. So I say triangle, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Just say it as triangle. Is it good? Because it's a noun. Can I just say triangle? No, I cannot say. What I need to use is an article.
The triangle.
And the color maybe you use.
Yes.
The green color triangle.
Black border.
Triangle. If I want to describe more, okay,
The big green color.
Black border.
the large. I can say large green triangle.
Large green triangle.
Then I can also say the large green equilateral triangle. See, you're getting it? Okay, so you're getting it now. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so it's large green equilateral triangle. So that means I can have many descriptive words to a noun. A description can be multiple things, right? So I would be able to describe it with multiple things also. So how do I represent it over here? Triangle is my large green. Article goes with my light blue. Adjectives, adjectives. How many adjectives? I have large,
Green.
triangle. So I can have many descriptive words all together, which is going to be describing my triangle. Okay, so this is all a part of function of words. So we have just done a noun, an article, an adjective. So tomorrow's session is the other function of words. Then there's Saturday and Sunday, we're going to be having a break. And since we have completed 3 days of language training, so tomorrow beginning, we might have a small test. Okay, it's going to be an MCQ or a quiz kind of a test, which is just going to check how much have we understood. It's not for an assessment part altogether. It's not for assessment because I would not be very much keen in giving you description, so you don't have to write pages and summations, all of that. Just a small MCQ, multiple choice questions that I'm going to be asking all of you. And we're going to be seeing how much that we can actually. Okay. So that covers our today's exercise. So I would want all of you to stand up for our wind-up day. Okay. Wind up with another super song from the station. Everybody stand up, please. And you can keep your books aside because we're almost done for the day.
CD Action Fun Dance by the Learning Station.
We can keep our videos on. High, reach for the sky. It's one and song. Sing a rap song. Oh, rap, sam, sam. Oh, rap, sam, sam. Ooey, 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 rap, sam, sam. Oh, rap, sam, sam. Oh, rap, sam, sam. Ooey, 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 rap, sam, sam. Oh, Robin, ooey, 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 rap, sam, sam. Oh, Robin, ooey, 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 rap, sam, sam. Arms up high, reach for the sky. If you want to be a rapping master, you've got to go a little faster. Oh, rap, sam, sam. Oh, rap, sam, sam. Ooey, 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 rap, sam, sam. Oh, rap, sam, sam. Oh, rap, sam, sam. Ooey, 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 rap, sam, sam. Ooey, 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 rap, sam, sam. Oh, Robin, ooey, 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 rap, sam, sam. Arms up high, reach for the sky. If you want to be a rap master, you got to go a little faster. Oh, rap, sam, sam. Oh, rap, sam, sam. Ooey, 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 rap, sam, sam. Oh, rap, sam, sam. Oh, rap, sam, sam. Ooey, 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 rap, sam, sam. Oh, ooey, 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 rap, sam, sam.
Nino, Nino, ഇവിടെ വന്നേ.
Arms up high, reach for the sky. If you want to be a rap master, got to go a little faster. Oh, rap, sam, sam. Oh, rap, sam, sam. Ooey, 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 rap, sam, sam. Oh, rap, sam, sam. Oh, rap, sam, sam. Ooey, 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 rap, sam, sam. Ooey, 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 rap, sam, sam. Arms up high, reach for the sky. If you want to be a rap master, got to go a little faster. Oh, rap, sam, sam. Oh, rap, sam, sam. Ooey, 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 rap, sam, sam. Oh, rap, sam, sam. Oh, rap, sam, sam. Arms up high, reach for the sky. Get us a master, right a little faster. Oh, rap, sam, sam. Oh, rap, sam, sam. Oh, my lovely ladies, thank you so much for joining me in this wonderful, most energetic song, Ram Sam San. after a very wonderful hard workout. I know today's was a very hectic schedule because it's language, and that's how language is. It's tricky, it's more in content. And I'm trying to do the best possible that I could incorporate so that, we are not left out behind of any of the topics. So we need to do more and more. So as you teachers, because you're stepping into the new foundation and learning of language, I want each one of you all to make up this. So whatever you have written in your books, whenever you get time, whenever you are with your children in your classes, please do make up these label cards because they're going to be really, really helpful for all of them into making sure. Okay, so you can laminate them, you can put them towards in your work folders or pouches like this, and you could read the cards whenever you need it. In case if anybody needs the printables of what I have written, so I would also be sharing you the PDF copy of it. You can also do a printout and you could also use it in your classes. Make sure that their children are actually learning with different colorful schemes and color schemes, and along with that, the different kinds of series exercises that they're going to be having it in their Montessori. So reading, writing is very, very essential. So whenever you get the opportunity to introduce the lessons, do make up. So whenever you have a little free time, do make up cards. Okay, whatever you've written in your notebooks, please do make up a card, because every time you introduce the lesson in a proper way, the children will be able to understand it even more better. Okay, my screen is very short over here, so I could not show you the larger picture of how exactly that we could actually work on this grammar part of it. Okay, so tomorrow we're going to be covering the function of words, and tomorrow is going to be the last day of language. Maybe the first half we might cover, and we can step into math also. So be prepared for both of that. The first 1 hour we're going to do language, and the next 1 hour we're going to do math. So that will complete our first part of practicals. That's our language. So what did we learn? We learned the alphabets, we learned the sounds of the alphabets, how the letter sounds do make, what are the short vowel sounds, what are the long vowel sounds. We learned so many stories and rhymes that contributed to our oral language development. And we started off with the written language practices. That's where we learned how to write a letter A, what made it to construct, what were the different sounds of each of the letters. And then we saw the pictures, which was allocated to all of it. Yesterday, we did a lot of question time. We did games, which was actually getting involved into it. We did wonderful stories like Mr. Wiggle and Mr. Waggle to remember, so that, you are able to do the same exercises. So once you're going back, do it with your children, so you will remember it even more better. Okay, so whenever you get the chance, please do that. And towards today, we started with more of practicals. We began with the articles, the adjectives, the noun forms, the capitalization, the punctuations, the 44 important sounds of our English language. We started with short vowel sounds, the long vowel sounds. Then we started with the R control sounds, diphthongs, then the consonant sounds and digraphs. Okay, so that was it. I know it was a little hectic day for all of us. Thank you so much for being so patiently with me throughout 2 hours. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Love you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Bye.
Thank you so much,
so
ma'am.
much.
Thank you, ma'am, so much. Thank you very much.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Tomorrow.
Thank
you
so much.
See you all tomorrow. Bye bye.